Hi people! So, we got Sharp Twin Famicom in. I meant to make this video last night, but I completely forgot. We'll also show off my regular Famicom here, because I didn't do that. Or I haven't really shown it off much. So yeah, I have a Famicom as well. I'm planning to get a regular Famicom disk system for this thing, but I haven't yet. So, we'll just... yeah. Also, I found out this TV can go to channel 96, so I don't have to use the Famicom through a VCR with it, so that's cool. Now, first things first, the Sharp Twin Famicom came with the cheapest composite cables I have ever owned. This is so thin, and this is like the cheapest plastic. There's so much sprue, and they've already like ripped a little bit. Like the insulation is already ripped. I can see some wire inside. I've had this thing for a day, I believe. So, yeah. But I'm going to use them, so let me plug those back in. They do work, and they actually work fairly well, so whatever. But yeah, I haven't cleaned this thing except for the first player controller because it felt kind of horrible. Same thing with the Famicom. I'm going to do a stream on Saturday night where I do all that. So yeah, I'm going to clean all my games, and my NES, and my Famicom, and my Sharp Twin Famicom. It's going to be cool. Anyway, so I'm going to show these off. So you got, this thing is absolutely adorable. This thing is slightly larger than an NES. So you can see just how small it is in comparison. I like these controllers. You can see mine is quite worn out, but yeah, I like these controllers. They're a bit smaller. They're nice rounded things. It's very comfortable to use. Yeah, got this cute door thing there for the cartridge slot. Like, you got power, you got reset, you got the expansion port on the front here, if I could get it off there. Got a little red cover, and then you get your 15 pin, I think, expansion port. You can plug your family keyboard into that or whatever the heck you want to do, or your light gun thing. But yeah, also got the second controller with the weird mic built in. Why not? I don't know, every controller should have a mic built in. Yeah. Also, we have this eject lever. It jams extremely easily, especially when there's a cart in, and it's quite noisy. You can hear springs going on in there. So yeah, we'll turn on the TV and give this thing a demo. I got my copy of Akamajo Densetsu in, so you get that VRC6 expansion sound that you can't get with an NES. So I'll plop that in there, we'll turn the TV on, and we'll hear how this sounds. Man, if I could reach it. Okay. Bam, there we go. Yeah, it's just on channel 95. This thing is unmodded other than a new voltage regulator, as I blew the one in here trying to figure out a power supply for this thing. So I just got the one out of a dead Atari 2600, and now it works. Bam. I do need to get a new one as it gets very... I do need to put an actual one in as it gets very hot, and I'm currently using this thing with a 12-volt power supply, and it brings it down to 5 volts, so it's not a good solution right now, but I'm working on it. I have parts coming. Anyway, so yeah, you can see the RF actually looks pretty good on here. I mean, if you take the cartridge out, you can definitely tell it's RF, especially in person. You can see there's a lot of noise in this signal here. But other than that, the RF actually looks pretty good. Especially when you're running something, it's not just a blue screen or just a blank screen like that. Yeah, you can see jail bars, but overall, I think the RF out of this thing looks pretty good. This thing is unmodded on channel 9596. Yeah, this thing is absolutely adorable. I really love it. Now, we'll take a look at the Twin Famicom here. I have it plugged into composite, so we can just do that, and then bam. Now we're on composite. We're on the Famicom disk system mode, so this can't open, interestingly. That's pretty neat. Yeah, so first thing you'll notice, it's quite large compared to that, mainly because it has a Famicom disk system in it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. This eject lever is so much easier to use. I'll demonstrate here. Here's me using the one on the Famicom, and then here's the one on the twin Famicom. So much better. Just so nice. Yeah. So this thing's pretty neat. I like the controllers. They have turbo buttons built in with these switches. I like the way these look with the red D-pad. I think they're quite nice. Now let me show you some differences between the Famicoms here. One, this door locks, so you can't put a cartridge in while it's running a disk system game here, like so. And then around back, if my luxurious table would stop moving around. You got your power, which is strangely 7.6 volts in. My power adapter is 7.5. Has the RF DIN socket thing on the back. Got your controllers coming out. You got your audio video. That's about it. And now, interestingly enough, I noticed on this side, player 2 controller came off. Put that back. I noticed on this side that along with your expansion port, you have this port here under this door. I don't know what the heck this would be for, because that is the port that would plug in, that the disk system would plug into a Famicom RAM adapter with. So I have no clue what this would be for, because this thing has the RAM adapter built in. And you wouldn't daisy chain another disk system, I don't think. I don't know if cables like that exist. So, yeah, it's just weird. Also, something I find fun, I don't know why it wouldn't be like this, but you can get the cap from a regular Famicom and plug it in over here. I just like that. Probably look a little more fitting if I had the red one of these, but I don't. This one was cheap and it came with one of my favorite Famicom disk system games, so yeah, or at least fairly cheap. So yeah. Yeah, I have no clue what that port would do. Sometime when I get an actual RAM adapter, I'll try slamming in here and using that, or using that Famicom and using that, or something. I also noticed, I think this also has to do with that connector. I noticed on the bottom, here's the information sticker, but you also have this, which is a much softer plastic than the rest, and if you slide it off, it's kind of fiddly, especially with one hand, but if you get it off, what's under here is quite interesting. You can see, yeah. You have this big old bridge wire thing, and I kind of wonder if you disconnect this to not use the RAM adapter, and instead use the RAM adapter built in, and instead use your own through that port. I have no clue, but I mean, it's there. I'll have to test that sometime when I get an actual, when I get a standalone disk system. They're both actual disk systems. Now, let me put this cover back on. Again, it's quite fiddly. There we go. It's back on. It seems to be made from a very similar material to, here, let me grab one. Don't fall. Yeah. It seems to be made from a very similar material as NES cartridge sleeves. They feel and look very similar. These two things here. They're both very pliable like that. Yeah. So, also, yes, I will be doing another Bionic Commando stream sometime now that I have an actual cart of it. Yeah, I went and bought it, even though I've beat the game twice already. Okay, so let me put this thing back in here. There we go. We'll show this off later. Not in this video. Now, let's get to actually messing with this. Oh, one more thing. Let me put the controllers back in so I can demonstrate this point. So, one more thing. On the regular Famicom, these controllers are pretty stable in there, while these things have a ton of movement. And it annoys me because one is often offset from the other, although they're behaving right now. So, yeah. Anyway, let's finally give this a play. There you go. I don't know what's with this Famicom, but it has a weird clicking in the background. I don't know what that is. Sometimes it's worse than other times. Probably bad capacitors somewhere. I've never opened this thing. It has been opened. The seller refurbed the disc part. Basically replaced the belt, cleaned the heads. As far as I'm aware. So the disc system works in this thing. But otherwise, I don't think this thing has been serviced. So I'll need to do that myself. But for now, it is working. You can see that. So first, we'll do the Famicom side of things. Fun fact, you can switch this while the Famicom disk system is running. Switch it to the Famicom mode, and you see that the system just crashes if I bring it back. Yep. So, yeah. I doubt you're supposed to do that, but you can. So, now I will plug my Akamajo Densetsu cart in here. And again, turn that up. Yeah. Again, you can hear that clicking. It doesn't have jail bars, really. I think this is probably the cleanest video out of the NES, Famicom, or like any NES or Famicom. Actually, this video out looks super clean, real nice. Man, that clicking is real bad. But yeah, there you go. Looks quite good. It's composite rather than RF this time, but yeah. There you go. I mean, we saw this earlier. I can do the things, like, the controllers work. The controllers work on the other one, too. I'll just skip past that. Sounds good. You can see some overscan on my TV. Okay, now let's put in a Famicom disk system game. Here, first I will actually put in a different one. First I'll show off this. I got a copy of Dr. Mario with this thing. So, now I have a copy of Dr. Mario. Dang, that clicking is getting really bad. It was less bad earlier. Okay. Yeah, I have a copy of Dr. Mario now. I don't really like this game, but I didn't have it before, so cool. But now, this is what I was really excited about with this purchase. I got a physical copy of Falchion. I am absolutely awful at this game, but it's super fun, and I love how these Famicom discs look. I'll compare it to an actual cartridge here, and man, they're just adorable. I really like them. So, let's see about getting the disk system going here. Was very loud. And yeah, the clicking is less bad now. But yeah. So, we will get this thing going. I'm going to try to... No, I'm not going to do this with one hand. That would be a very bad idea. So, I will try to show it like this. So, we open it up. We have our little disc here. And we put it in the drive. These things are quite fragile, so yeah. Yeah, and then you just have your case. Okay. So, bam. You get that in the drive. It's kind of fiddly, but yeah. You can see it pushes it out. But then when you put it in, it instantly clicks in. And the Famicom recognizes it exists. Tells you it's loading stuff. Things happen. Get this copyright message. Probably can't read. And then, bam! Actually loads faster than I thought it would. Yeah. It's pretty cool. And again, this composite signal is actually pretty good. So yeah, you can see the yellow here. And so I will sound effects, man. And please set side B. So wants me to go to the B side because this is not a double-sided drive. So put that in. Now loading. And then the game will do stuff. You'll hear it. Bam. You can fly around. It's like a 3D kind of game. It's pretty cool. The music's really good in this game. It's by Konami. That's always fun. Yeah. There are 3D glasses you can do. It's really flickery here in person, although it kind of looks fine on camera. But yeah, that's 3D, 2D, 3D, 2D. I don't have the Famicom 3D glasses you'd use for this, so yeah. But what's cool about the Famicom disk system, now the game's running, it's running from RAM. It's called a RAM adapter for a reason. So you can take out the game, and with how this game works, it'll go back to the title screen from RAM. So I can say no, and it'll go back to the title screen. And it won't need to read that disk again, I don't believe, because it still has the side B info in RAM. So, nope, it does ask for side B. That's interesting. So, but yeah, you can at least like have the disc out while you're playing and stuff. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. See, I'll plop that back in there. There we go. And bam, it's loaded. So yeah, and now you can take your disc out and not have to mess with it. But yeah, man, it's pretty great. I can't wait to get more FDS games, although they're quite expensive. They're about 15 bucks a game at the cheapest. So, at least from what I've found, unless you get them in like a lot or something. But yeah, the music in this game is super good. Oh, it just decided without me. Okay. But yeah, so there's Falchion for the Famicom disk system, and what's fun is you can get disk errors if you put inside A, then try to do stuff. It'll try to read the drive. It'll realize that's not the data it's looking for. It'll give an error. Yep, error 07. Probably like disk wrong side error or something. And then it says please set side B again. So you can just put side B in. And then it loads the data at once. So yeah, cool to have a Famicom disk system. I mean, it neat. Yeah, be careful with these discs. They're pretty fragile and very expensive. But yeah, the cheapest games would be 15 bucks to replace. This one would be 50 bucks to replace. 50. So yeah, quite expensive. Yeah, really loving having a disc system. It's a pretty neat thing. Yeah, I think I've said everything I'm gonna say, so I'll just leave you with a bit of Falchion, and I'll put the disc back in its special caddy thing. That was fast. So yeah, I'll turn that off. I'll put that back in, and we'll just have that going while I put the disc back in its caddy thing here. So yeah, you can have the disc in unnecessarily if you want while it's doing stuff. You cannot, while a cartridge is in, flip this switch. So that's cool. But yeah, so I'll get my Falchion disc caddy thing. I'll try to have it not all flat so I can like put the disc in. These paper inserts can be kind of a pain sometimes. Okay, there. Now I just need to get the disc in here. I like having side A as the side that pokes out so that I can just grab it, put it in the disk system, and then bam, got my Falchion back in here. It's pretty cool. So yeah, there we go. That is my Sharp Twin Famicom. compared to a regular Famicom. I'll get a disk system sometime. I'll figure out what that port's for sometime. Other stuff, I think I'm getting paid today, so I'll probably be able to buy a disk system today. If I don't buy a disk system, I'm probably going to buy a Family Basic keyboard because I want one so bad, but and a Family Basic cartridge. It's like 90 bucks though, so I might not. The disk system is about 60 with a RAM adapter tested, so yeah. Cool thing I purchase. Yeah. This thing arrived in like 4 days after purchase. It was crazy. It arrived 2 days after shipping, which is, the shipping was 2 days. It started and ended in 2 days. It's crazy. It got to me super quick. Yeah. So, I'll just leave you guys with, incredible eject. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out.